Hello. I thought I would share with y'all my abuse of a T-spline command, um, tsuveditor. I'm using this command not for its intended purposes. I'm using it to get a layout for a flow along surface operation that's tapered. And I'll show you, as I go through this, why I'm doing it this way. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a really basic simple tapered ring, and I'm going to use that using the new GenVision TS tube from curves command, and just going to make this really simple tapered ring that I can put a pattern on the top surface. I'm just going to sort of pinch that in a bit, and maybe pinch this in just a little bit too. Okay. Now I'm going to take this surface, and I'm only going to work on half of it, so I'm going to delete half of it. And then I want to put the design on these top faces, so I'm going to select all of these faces and run the command duplicate faces. So now I have a surface on top here that I can work with. And typically when you're doing a flow along surface, you take your surface and you hit create UV curves, and when you do that, what you get is this nice rectangular bounding box, which doesn't really follow the taper in the surface. It's just a rectangle, so it's hard to do your layout for your design because your surface tapers and your bounding box doesn't. So there's another way you can do that. You can select the surface and use the new SmartFlow Auto Base, but it gives you the same thing, this rectangular bounding box, and that's because of the way the surface is constructed. But it's not very helpful. So the way that I figured out with the help of Nicholas North how to do this was to take this, to get this tapered bounding box, the way to do it is to take the surface and run the command tsuveditor, and then you want to create a texture mesh, and you want to unwrap your T-spline surface, and then you just need to, on your construction plane, draw a rectangle out there, and it actually gives you the surface, and it follows the taper. You have the nice taper of your surface, so that's great. That's what, that will help you a lot more in laying out your pattern. So I'm just gonna mirror this over here to this side. Delete this original one. Doesn't matter, you don't need to be working on the original surface. And then I'm going to rotate this around a little bit just so that I can straighten it out and work on this a little bit better. Okay, I'll turn on this pattern I have here. Just a really simple tribute to Valentine's Day here. Some hearts. And these aren't going to perfectly sit on here, but you'll get the point. So the one thing that you need to work with flow along surface command is you need NURB surfaces. You can't work with T-spline surfaces to do a flow along surface. So when you originally lay down this surface on the base, it's a mesh. So we'll need to do some things to convert that, a couple of steps real quick, to convert that to a surface that you can use flow along surface with. I'm just straightening these out a little bit. Yeah, so if I select this surface, this base surface here, you'll see, let's try that again. You'll see it's a mesh. So what I want to do first is I want to convert that to a T-spline. And it converts it to a T-spline mesh until you smooth toggle it. And once you do that, you'll see now it's a T-spline surface, which then you can convert easily to a rhino surface, so to a NURB surface. So now I've got this NURB surface that I can work with, and this also has to be a NURB surface for this to work. So just need to click on convert to rhino surface. So now I've got this set up with rhino surfaces so that this will work with flow along surface. and I want to check my my smart flow layout to see if these are going in the right direction. And as you can see, they're not. This one is needs to be, my back face is showing this needs to be flipped. And then let's see, do we have, we need to also change our UV direction. So I'm going to swap UV on this, hit enter, and now you can see the red lines are going horizontally and the blue line is going vertically on both surfaces. These are the red lines going horizontally, and this is the blue one going vertically. So now I have hopefully the right direction for this command to work. So I'm going to select the objects that I want to flow along surface. I'm going to enter the command flow along surface, select the base surface, and then select the matching surface that I want to flow it onto, and wait. There we go. So as you can see, it works well. I didn't get very much distortion, and my objects went up there nice and tapered, and I was able to lay that out down here on the construction plane because I had a tapered surface to work with. So that's my abuse of the TSUV editor. I hope it helps someone else.